In today's session, we are going to discuss more about scanf function. In last class, I have just given brief idea about scanf function and we have seen one example program. Today we are going to see more example programs. So today it won't take much time. We'll close the class early. Sorry. So what is this scanf? Scanf is the standard input function which is used to read values into the variables from keyboard during program execution. The meaning of program execution is runtime. So when you are running the program, at that time if you want to accept the values into the variables, we go for scanf. We can even say scanf is used to accept the user input. And the syntax of scanf is, we use the keyword scanf, then within double quotes provide the format specifiers, within double quotes, then comma, we had to select this and variable 1, comma, and variable 2, like that, and variable n. This and symbol we call it as address of operator. This and symbol we call address of operator. Right? Now, what are the format specifiers? Already we discussed on this. So we are having format specifiers like for integer, %t, for character, %c, for float, %f, and for string collection of characters, %s. So today we are going to see on string also with the example. Now, let us understand with example. Here if you are taking the variables like a, integer a, float b, and character c. Now we want to take the value into these variables during runtime. So user want to give value to these variables. How to do? Using scanf. Scanf. So what are our variables here? And a, comma, and b, comma, and c. So this a is what type? Integer. So for integer, what is the format specifier? We had to say here %t. B is of type float, %f. C is of type character, %c. That's it. So when this statement is executed, the values what we enter, first value will go and store into a variable, second value will go and store into b variable, third value will go and store into c variable. So what is this AND operator? Address of operator. Let me elaborate more on that. Whenever we declare a variable, it's going to allocate some memory space in our RAM. So in our example, it's going to allocate memory space for a variable. It's going to allocate memory space for b variable. And it's going to allocate memory space for c variable. So when you are using scanf, when we say AND a means address of a, let us assume the address of this a is some 100, address of b is some 200, address of c is some 300. I'm just assuming. When we use AND a, the first value what we enter, for example, I'm entering 10. So what will happen? This 10 will go and store into this address of a. Second value, let us suppose I'm saying something like 50.25. Then this 50.25 will go and store into address of b here. Then third value, let us suppose we are giving third value as some character p. Then this p will come and store into this address of c. P will come into what? Address of c. So AND is for what? Address of operator. To go to the address and store the value. When you are reading the values from keyboard, it will go to the respective address of that variables. That is the use of AND operator. Right? Now, let us understand more with the example codes. Once we see example, the concept will become easy. In last class, I've taken one example already. Let me open that file, sum1.c. Here. Here we have taken two numbers and we want to find the sum of two numbers. So what we have done, see, we have accepted the two numbers and we have read the value into that numbers using scanf. Then we are finding the sum and displaying it. Now see, when we run, execute, compile and run. See, it's going to ask you two numbers. If I say 55 and 65, it's going to provide the sum of these two numbers. So this values what you are entering during runtime, these only we call user input. So in order to accept this user input during runtime, that is the use of going with scanf function. Let us go with some more examples today. Write a program, now one word sense WAP, to find area of a rectangle. We want to find area of a rectangle. In order to find area of a rectangle, what's the formula? Length into breadth. Length into breadth. So for this program, what is the input? We should accept length value and breadth value from user and apply the formula and print this area value. Let us write the code. Refer program rectangle.c. So when I say refer program rectangle.c, in the C programs folder, this file will be available. When you open drive link in C programs folder, these files will be available for you. Now open developer C++, create a new file. How to create? File, new, source file. What is the objective? To find area of a rectangle. This only we call comments. Now hash include stdio.h. Why we write this? Printf and scanf functions are the predefined functions and the code of that functions are available in this stdio.h file, standard input output header file. So we are linking to this file. Now to run a C program, we require main function. Now what is our next part? Declaration part. So what are the variables we require for our program? We have to declare it. So like this, int length, comma breadth, comma area. Now executable part means accepting input, displaying messages, calculations comes under executable part. So go with the message printf enter length value. Enter length value. So we'll say scanf %t comma and length. So whenever you want to take the value into the variable length, we have to say and length. So that the value what we enter, it will go and store into length variable address. Again say printf enter breadth value. We'll say scanf. Scanf is to read user input %t comma and breadth. So we have accepted length and breadth from user. Now calculate area. Area equal to what's the formula? Length into breadth. Now display the value of area. How to display? Printf area of rectangle equal to %t, the value of area. That's it. So whatever the message you want to display, that should go in double quotes and comma the variable name. Since area is of type integer, what format specifier we have to use? %t. Now let me save this file. I am saving in our folder C programs. Let me give the name as rectangle.c. The extension what we give for C program is .c. Save it. Now come to execute. In the menu, come to execute, compile and run. Keyboard shortcut F11. So it's going to compile our code and runs the code. So it is asking the length value. Let me say 25. Breadth value, let me say 15. It's going to give the result. See, area of rectangle 375. Right? So whenever you want to accept user input, we go for scanf. To display some messages, we go for printf. Hope this is clear to you. Any questions up to here? No. Let us go with some more examples today. Write a program to find area of a circle. What's the formula? Pi into radius into radius, right? Pi r square. Then what's the value of pi? 3.14. Pi value is what here? 3.14. So either you can write 3.14 here and say radius into radius, anything is fine. Now, let us understand with the program. Sorry. Circle.c. Open developers C++. Create a new file. File new source file. What is the task here? To find area of a circle. Hash include stdio.h. Now here we'll go with main function. Now what are the variables we require? Let me say float. I'm going to take float radius value and area value. And you can even take pi as 3.14. Instead of taking a variable like this and giving the value 3.14, since pi is a constant value, we can make use of the definition section like this. Hash define pi. What's the value of pi? 3.14. So whenever you want to define some constant variables with a value, for that we can use this definition section hash define. Now wherever we use pi, it replaces with what value? 3.14. Now accept the value of radius. Go with the message printf enter radius value. Scanf. Since radius is of type float, make use %f, comma, and radius. Now apply the formula area equal to pi. So whenever we use pi, it replaces 3.14. Pi into radius into radius. That's it. Now display the value of area, printf area of circle equal to %f, since it's of type float, %f, comma, area. That's it. Save this file, Ctrl S. Let me save it as circle.c. Then compile and run. Click on execute, compile and run. So it is asking the radius value. Let me say something like 2.5. See, it's giving area of circle as 19.625 something. But after decimal point, I want to display only 2 digits. Then what we have to use? .2f. Here we can say %.2f. That means after decimal point, it takes only 2 digits. See here, let me run and show you. Let me take something like 4.5. See. After decimal point, we are getting only 2 digits. Let us take some more examples to feel comfortable with printf and scanf. Write a program to accept roll number, name, roll number, student name, and marks in 3 subjects. Find the total and average. How to find total? Adding up 3 marks. Adding up these 3 marks will give the total. Average, total divided by 3. Why 3? Because 3 subjects. Then display. What we should display back to the user? Display roll number, student name, total and average. Let me go with the program name as student.c. Open developer C++. Create a new file. We can even click on see this symbol, new symbol. Even if you click here, you can see source file. Keyboard shortcut Ctrl N. Go here with hash include stdio.h. Now onwards, wherever I require, I'll write the comments. The main function. What variables we require? Roll number. Then see, when you go with the student name, when we take char, we can store only one character. But when you take student name, we'll have multiple characters. So when you want to manage multiple characters, we should use here square brackets and mention how many characters you want to collect. So when you give size as 10, that means in the student name, we can store maximum 10 characters. So this only we call collection of characters. This only we call string. This only we call it as what? String. String means collection of characters. Okay, and this square bracket symbol, we call them as arrays. We call it as what? Arrays. So we'll even discuss about arrays concept later. Now take variables float, mark 1, mark 2, mark 3, then total, average. So these are our declaration part. What is the use of declaration part? The variables what we require for our program, we have to declare it first before using. Now go with the message, accept the input from user, like enter roll number. We'll say scanf, %d, comma, and roll number. Printf, enter student name. We'll say scanf. See, student name is what type? String type. For string, what is the format specifier? I said %s. And say comma, stud name. For strings, when you are accepting strings, don't use and symbol here. We should not use and symbol when you are taking value to string type. Why we should not use and symbol? I'll discuss when we come to arrays topic. For now, blindly you remember, when you are accepting strings, don't use and symbol. Printf, enter marks in 3 subjects. We'll say scanf, sorry, %f, float type means %f, %f, comma, and mark 1, comma, and mark 2, comma, and mark 3. Right? Now, find total. Total equal to mark 1 plus mark 2 plus mark 3. Find average. Average equal to total by 3. So this is our input. We have accepted the input and this is our process. Now go with output. So what we should display back to the user? Printf roll number equal to %d, the value of roll number. Printf student name equal to %s, the value of student name. Printf total marks equal to %.2f, comma, total. Printf average equal to %.2f, comma, average. That's it. Now save this file. Student.c. Now compile and run. Click on file, compile and run. Now observe, we are getting errors here. Under TOT, it's saying, see what message? TOT undeclared. TOT undeclared. Because what is the spelling we have used? TOTAL. But in my program, what I am using? TOT. Shortcuts won't work. Whatever the variable name we have taken, no, that same variable only we should use throughout the program. So don't go for any shortcuts. So what I write here? TOTAL. Even this also we should write TOTAL. So whatever the variable names we declare, that same spellings, case sensitive, that same spellings we are write. Even if I write here capital TOTAL. So now see, when you compile, see it's saying C, TOTAL undeclared, because C language is case sensitive. Whatever the case we have used it while declaring the variable, same case we have to use throughout the program, because C is case sensitive programming language. Let me compile and run. See here, it's asking roll number, name, 3 marks, 55.0, 65.0, 75.0. See here, it is displaying C, roll number 111, student name Raj, total marks 120.00, average sub 40. Right? So spellings are wrong and everything it is displaying in the same line. So to go to the new line, what we have to use? Slash in. To go to the new line, what we have to use? Slash in. Total. Spelling is wrong here. So in double quotes, whatever we write, it will print as it is. It won't see what you are writing. Here we should not use, it won't think of variable name. This is our variable name. When you are using variable name, that is important. So to go to the new line, make use of slash in. Slash in is for to go to the new line. Let us compile and run. Go with the values. 55, 66 and 77, which is going to display the result for us. Okay. Clear with this code? Any questions? Anyone up to here? Compulsory you should practice. If you are totally new to programming now, you should practice it compulsory. If you practice 1 or 2 times on your system, so the way you write the programs will change. Let me go with one more example. Let me go with last example and we'll close for today. Write a program to accept item number, item name, rate and quantity. Find amount. What's the formula? Rate into quantity will give amount. Then display item number, item name and amount. That's it. Let me go with the program name item.c. Open developer C++. Let me create a new file. Sorry. Hash include stdio.h main function. Then declare the variables like int item number, then quantity, then char item name of size 10, then float. Let me take rate and amount. Now go with the messages. Printf, enter item number, will say scanf %t comma and item number. Next enter item name, will say scanf %s, string means %s and no and symbol, just say item name. Printf, enter rate and quantity. Scanf, rate is what? A float, so %f, then quantity %t integer, and rate comma and quantity. So this is our input. Now find amount. What's the formula? Rate into quantity will give the amount. Now display the result. Printf item number equal to %t comma item number. Printf /n is to go to new line. Item name equal to %s comma item name. printf /n amount equal to percentage f, you can say dot to f, comma amount. That's it. Save the file, item.c, then compile and run. See, it's asking item number. Item name, let me say something like mouse. Item rate, something 300. Quantity, some 5. I require 5. Then see, item number 111, item name mouse, and 300 into 5, 1500. Right? Simple. Printf is for displaying messages and scanf is for reading values into the variables. So whenever you want to accept data from user, we make use of scanf. So these two functions are very base for us in order to start writing our C programs. Okay. So what are the programs I discussed today? Please practice on this. Then next class will be on Monday. So remember, so next class will be on Monday. That is 13th of July at same 4 p.m. IST. Okay, so next class will start with operators. Right? So anyone having any questions before I close for today? Thank you very much. You require YouTube link. Already I've shared it, right? Did you join this WhatsApp channel? So if you join WhatsApp channel, you can get the link. In that you can find the link. Let me share the WhatsApp channel and even I'll share the link also. Okay, I'm sharing the link of WhatsApp channel. Click on that. Let me share even the YouTube playlist also. Even I'm sharing YouTube playlist. So if you join the WhatsApp channel, there you can find drive link to access our notes programs. And in YouTube channel, if you open the playlist, you can see all our videos. Right? So, any other questions, anyone? Thank you very much and happy weekend. Thank you.